State of Michigan versus Grant Montgomery.
Caitlin Kirby on behalf of the people.
Grant Montgomery?
He is present. I think he's trying to unmute, Your Honor.
I'm here, Your Honor.
Okay. All right.
He's here, Your Honor.
So you signed in on 2 devices.
You're on 2 devices.
Yes.
Okay. All right. I just need 1 device, or the other one turned down. That's fine. That's fine.
Yep.
I'll stick with the devices. All right. What did they just do? They just got off of the 1 device.
Video left, but I think.
The video left, but the other audio. Okay. Now they're on 1 device. Okay. All right. What are we doing in this case?
I am disputing a illegal passing ticket.
Ms. Kirby.
So I don't know if he's asking to have a formal hearing. My trooper is here, so we can hold it if that's what he would like. I was not aware.
Your Honor, Trooper Smith here. I'd be willing to offer impeding traffic to forego the formal hearing.
Okay, all right. Is that what you want to do, young man?
No, Your Honor.
No?
Yes, Your Honor. No, Your Honor. He does not want to plead down.
Who are you?
I'm his stepfather. I'm sorry.
Okay. Illegal passing is how many points? 2?
Your Honor,
Fine.
I believe so, yes.
Okay, do you understand that an impeding is a non-reportable, no-point offense is what the trooper's offering?
Yes, Your Honor.
And you don't want to do that?
No, Your Honor.
All right, let me see. I'm going to pass this here, and then I will try to clear some stuff out. We'll have the hearing if that's what they want.
It's actually,
Trooper Smith, if you could remain on the call then, please. Thank you.
So you do understand that so that you're aware. And what's the fine on that? So the impeding is 180, no points. That's what the troopers offer. What you're charged with is actually 3 points and $140.
Yes, Your Honor. I'm aware of that.
Okay, well, thank you for your knowledge. I am pointing that out to you so maybe you can factor that into your decision. Thank you.
I'd be asking for an adjournment to June 1st so that I can obtain the discovery and hopefully enter into the appropriate negotiations with.
You want the 1st or the 8th?
Your Honor, I would prefer the 1st, quite honestly.
All right, that's fine. June 1st, 2022, 9 a.m. Okay?
Yes, Your Honor. And if you wanted me to speak with Mr. Montgomery, was it Montgomery, about the impeding?
Sometimes people just, whatever. So
Your Honor,
I'm just going to let it.
I've done, I've handled about 3,000 or 4,000 truck driver tickets, so I know.
I can only lead a horse to water.
I respect it.
Thank you.
Your Honor.
14A District Court is back in session. The court does recall the case of People versus Grant Montgomery.
Caitlin Kirby on behalf of the people.
State your name, please.
Grant Montgomery.
All right. This is formal hearing on a civil infraction. An improper passing citation. All right, you may proceed, Ms. Kirby.
And the people would call Trooper Smith to the stand. Trooper Smith, can you please unmute and turn on your camera?
Yep, I'm unmuted. Just give me 1 second for the camera.
All right.
Hello, sir. Trooper Smith, you're up on behalf of the state.
All right. You raise your right hand to be sworn. Do you solemnly swear or affirm testimony you're about to give will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
I do.
Ms. Kirby, you may proceed.
Thank you. Trooper Smith, do you recall April 18th, 2022?
I do.
And do you recall where you were at approximately 8:39 p.m.?
Yes, ma'am. I was on patrol, Washtenaw County, Augusta Township,
Okay, and how are you employed?
through the Michigan State Police as a trooper.
And were you working that day?
I was.
And in what capacity?
As a law enforcement officer, state police trooper, ma'am.
And during that day, did you stop anyone around the time of 8 o'clock?
I did. I stopped one, Grant Douglas Montgomery, approximately 8:30 p.m.
And do you see Mr. Montgomery on the Zoom screen?
I do.
And can you identify what he's wearing, please?
He's wearing a gray button-up shirt.
Let the record reflect that this witness has identified the defendant.
Without objection, record shall reflect.
And what was the reason that you pulled over Mr. Montgomery?
Well, Washtenaw County Dispatch advised they'd received multiple 911 calls about two vehicles drag racing down Rawsonville Road, one being a gray Chevrolet HHR. So they advised that the gray Chevy HHR pulled into the Rawsonville and Willis BP station, and I happened to be in the area, so I told them I would look for the car, and I ended up finding the vehicle inside the BP station. Once the vehicle left the BP station, I initiated and turned southbound on Rawsonville Road. I initiated a traffic stop and made contact with Mr. Montgomery.
And why did you initiate the traffic stop?
Just due to the multiple 911 calls reporting drag racing in the area. It's a 2-lane road. It's fairly busy. Just wanted to stop and have a conversation with him about his driving and what was going on that evening.
And what road did you stop him on?
It was on Rawsonville Road, but I believed he turned onto Judd Road, if I'm not mistaken, to pull off Rawsonville to be safer.
And after speaking with Mr. Montgomery, did he make any statements admitting anything?
He did. While I was speaking with him, Mr. Montgomery advised that he was traveling southbound on Rawsonville Road and came to a stoplight at Bemis Road. And he advised the car in front of him was moving fairly slow, so he utilized the left-hand turn lane to pass that vehicle, which is a double yellow line if you're headed southbound on Rawsonville Road.
So you're allowed to use that lane as a passing lane?
You are not allowed to use that lane as a passing lane.
No further questions, Your Honor.
Mr. Montgomery, do you have any questions of the trooper?
No, Your Honor. Yes.
Your Honor, may I speak for my son?
Who's this?
No, you can't.
Okay.
You're not. Yeah, okay. Your son has no questions. What questions do you have, sir?
The officer wrote him a ticket for a civil infraction that he did not witness, and according to 257742 Michigan compiled laws, he has to witness a civil infraction unless there's an accident involved. We have video showing that the officer actually pulled him over about 15 minutes after he did pass somebody. We were advised to set up a formal hearing under the advice of my father, who is a retired detective, and we were under the understanding that we'd have the opportunity to speak with the prosecutor before going in front of a judge.
Oh, what do you want to? Do you want to talk to the prosecutor?
I would have loved to talk to him.
Well, the problem is that how old is your son?
17.
All right. Why didn't your son ask to speak to the prosecutor?
Whenever he's in front of authority, he gets very nervous. I can't speak for him as far as that goes, but this isn't the first time. Whenever he's talking to an authority figure, he kind of breaks down and doesn't talk. I'm sorry, Your Honor?
And doesn't, okay. Here's part of the problem here. And I certainly will look at the section you want me to look at. But there's a bigger problem here. And maybe, sir, I'll ask you, did you have a conversation with your stepson about his activities that night?
Yes, Your Honor, absolutely.
And did that draw any concern for you?
Yes, Your Honor, it did, but not specifically for the driving. It was his language in front of the police officer that bothered me the most.
But not the driving? I mean,
Your Honor,
why he came into contact?
I don't know what he did that would have been illegal, Your Honor. I have no proof of what he did.
Did you listen to what Trooper testified to? What were the complaints that led the Trooper there in the first place?
I do not know. I know that the Trooper says that it was drag racing.
Did you talk to your son about that?
Your Honor, I have browbeat my son about his driving.
Yeah, at first when the officer pulled me over, he said drag racing, which made me initially nervous. I was like, I wasn't doing that at all. I don't understand where that's coming from, which that made me nervous for the rest of the conversation, which is why I fumbled on my words and not really remember what I said.
Your Honor, on our end, absolutely. I've had conversations with my son about this incident. He does have a dash cam in his car and a rear camera in his car. And at the end of every day, I'm reviewing those now going forward. That's what we are doing as far as making sure that he is driving appropriately and not causing any problems for anybody. If the officer got complaints about drag racing, he absolutely did the right thing by pulling him over, but it's my understanding he cannot write a ticket for civil infraction that he did not witness, unless there's an accident involved.
Your Honor, Trooper Smith here, if I may.
Yes, sir.
We had received multiple calls, as I'd stated, about the two vehicles drag racing, and specifically the vehicle that Mr. Montgomery was operating at that time. Drag racing is a misdemeanor offense, as we all know. So I was trying to give him a break and simply cite him for the civil infraction of the improper passing, to which he himself admitted to on scene.
Oh, I know what you were doing. I just am finding it amazing that a father doesn't see what you're doing.
Oh, I respect what the officer's doing, Your Honor. I do. I appreciate that.
You understand, sir, though, that he could have written, based upon the complaint, a misdemeanor citation for drag racing. Then,
No,
quite frankly,
Your Honor, it's my understanding that he did not.
Wouldn't even, yes, he could. He absolutely could have found that. I deal with misdemeanors for 20 some odd years. If you're going to tell me he can't, I'm going to tell you right now, he could have. He could have requested charges for a misdemeanor offense. Then the thing is that they go out and get the witnesses of the people that were complaining, which the officer was investigating.
Yes, Your Honor.
And then, so it's just amazing to me, because the cold-hearted reality of it is that then what ends up occurring is the trooper goes, and instead of doing that, because you wouldn't have to, if he got a drag racing ticket, you wouldn't have to worry about him driving for a long time.
Yes, Your Honor.
So instead of the trooper doing that, he has a conversation with your son realizes something is going on there, gives him a break, writes him the ticket. I understood exactly what the trooper was doing. Sometimes with young people, whether they get nervous or not, you have to get their attention.
Yes, Your Honor.
And that's what the problem is here. Because if they can go back and get the witnesses, and they still may be able to, fine, you win this one, and then he gets on a drag race. And then what are you going to do? I mean, really, what are you going to do?
I hear what you're saying, Your Honor.
So then, and just to finish that thought, you get here today, and the trooper is then willing to even just lower it so it's no points, because the objective, in some respects, one would think, has been served. And that is, Grant Montgomery, I got your attention. That operating a motor vehicle out there is a huge responsibility. That in the flash of doing something stupid, people are dead.
Yes, Your Honor.
So I don't know what you want to do. I will give you an opportunity to speak with the prosecutor if you want to speak with the prosecutor. But when the trooper got here and said that they give the impeding, because he's not trying to sink your son. The cold-hearted reality is, and if you ever sat and talked with some of these troopers that are out there now, all they want, more than anything in the world, is that given any night, and you know how 17-year-olds are, I've raised two of them myself. All he wants is to get your son's attention so that there isn't a day he doesn't come home.
Absolutely.
And maybe that's the perspective this should have been looked at.
Yes, Your Honor.
So now tell me what you want to do, because we can continue with the hearing. If you want to speak with the prosecutor, we'll put you into a breakout room. You can talk with Ms. Kirby and the trooper outside of my presence, and then decide what you want to do.
I would appreciate that if that's okay, Your Honor.
Ms. Kirby, do you have any, I realize we're in the middle of the hearing. Do you have any objection with the trooper? You guys all go into a breakout room and speak?
No, Your Honor, but I would appreciate if Trooper Smith could be present as well.
Yes, that's what I was going to say, that Trooper Smith would go in. I mean, you know something, sir?
Yes, sir.
And I'll just say this. Maybe, because I mean, I guess these days we look at sometimes what police officers do and a lot of the bad things that happen and whatever. And myself having raised kids, you know, even my daughter's now 24. When she pulls out of that driveway, you're going to worry the rest of your life.
I understand, Your Honor. And like I said, my dad is a retired police officer, and he's the one who gave us this advice. So I grew up with a father who was a police officer as well, and I do understand where you're coming from, and I understand what it feels like every time he pulls out of the driveway. And I got 3 more coming up behind him who are teenagers.
Yeah.
So.
And you know what? With those 3 that are coming up behind him, here's the thing that you really need to think about. What you're going to want is you're going to want a trooper out there like Trooper Smith, that when something like that happens, he maybe just takes a moment, doesn't try to hammer them, but gets their attention.
Yes, sir.
Because that's the thing that's going to bring them back. And can you put Trooper Smith, Ms. Kirby, and Montgomery's into a breakout room, please? All right, everybody's back.
Yes, Your Honor. After a brief conversation, Trooper Smith is much more gracious than I and is allowing a plea to impeding traffic.
Okay. All right.
So I will agree with that decision, given the fact that Trooper Smith is the one that had to sit on here extra time, and he is also the one that decided to reduce it in the first place. So I agree with that, and I respect that choice.
In the Grant Montgomery matter, Mr. Montgomery, do you admit responsibility to the fact that on April 18, 2022, location of Rossmanville Road in Augusta Township, Washtenaw County, State of Michigan, that you did operate a motor vehicle in a fashion in which you impeded traffic?
Yes, Your Honor.
Court will accept that admission of responsibility. Anything you or your stepdad want to say before I impose fines and costs?
I want to say thank you to the court and to the officer.
Welcome. Fines and costs of $180. When can that be paid? Yeah, hold on. Hold on a second. Hold on a second. Young man, are you working? Young man, are you working?
I am working currently, yes.
Because I don't want stepdad's money. I want yours.
Yes.
So when are you going to pay it?
Within a week, sir.
Get it paid by May 31st.
Thank you, Your Honor.
And young man, do me a favor. And like I said, I'm a dad, so I don't know what you said to the trooper. Doesn't really matter to me. But realize that 17, you don't necessarily get it. Probably don't get it until you have little ones that look like you running around. So until you become a dad, you're not going to get it. That every time you step out of their sight, it's just pure work. If my gut tells me you're probably doing something you weren't supposed to, that's okay. You're 17. You do that kind of stuff. But also consider it a blessing sometimes that you get stopped in the middle of that. Because if you spend a day in this court or a week in this court, you'd see a lot of families in pain because their kid doesn't come back. Bad things can happen. I realize you're 17, you believe that you're invincible, but believe me, the world can take you out in a second.
I understand that.
Okay. So do me a favor, drive safe. I plan on hearing these cases in Washtenaw County for a long while to go. So problem is that when you come to somebody's attention, I'll remember you. It could be 10 years from now, I'll remember you. And I'll say, you're that little 17-year-old that's doing, okay, see? So now you're on my radar. All right?
Okay. All right. Well, thank you, Your Honor. I appreciate that.
All right. You guys take care. All right? Keep safe. Thank you. Ms. Kirby, thank you. Trooper, thank you. Is that it? 14A, finally, stands adjourned.